like I knew that he had food allergies, and his mom called and said he had food allergies, and that she would bring a cupcake for him that was okay to eat. And I thought, that's not like the same. And I said, well, where do you get cakes for his birthday? And so she said, oh, it's a local lady who bakes cakes, and she'll make it egg-free, whatever his allergies were. And I said, well, I'll get her to make the cake. And so I got in touch with her, and I got the cake made. And he's like, I don't think I can. I said, yes, this one was made by Anna, and it was made without the eggs and the. Oh. And he's like, so he could have the cake. He was so. I didn't realize like that was as big a deal.
Yeah,
as it was.
Yeah. It is kind of like a little bit of a social exclusion. When
you
feel left out as like a youngster.
Yeah. So so then from then on, he was her buddy, and he was the same age. His birthday was the same day, and they were really good friends. And so they met in kindergarten or junior kindergarten there. And so every year when she had her party, until we left, the cake was always made by the same lady, and it was always dairy free, and it was delicious. There was no difference. It cost me, I think it cost $5 more.
Wow.
Like, that's not even, So anyway, she always made the cake.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
I think he outgrew his allergies too after.
That's good.
Yeah.
That the day we outgrew, like I say we as in it was like a group thing. The day I outgrew my allergies, me and my mom went to the store, and we got so many things that were chocolate. Like every single thing in the cart had chocolate in it. Like just like pumping it into my veins. Like.
I think I've developed allergies as I've gotten older, which I didn't know that. I mean, I've heard people lose them. Wheat. Yeah, I'm allergic to guacamole or avocados.
Really?
Yeah, it makes me really
sad.
Which is really sad, but it's okay because avocados are expensive.
Yeah, but they're so good.
I've never had one before.
They were until you nenever had an avocado.
Never before.
Never had that avocado toast.
Never ever. But I've heard that they are very delicious.
They kind of have an interesting texture because it's really smooth. But
you wouldn't think because the outside is like.
Yeah, well, like you break that off,
really
and
have
then
very little flavor if you think about it.
Yeah,
but I love them. I don't even know why. They're just so good. When I was in Ontario, we were about to move back. Like we knew we were moving, and we were leaving in about 6 months or something, and everything was coming together because it's not easy to uproot and move down, and I had a panic attack. Like, what if there's no avocados in Newfoundland? I can't move. We just can't go. So I think I put it on Facebook. Do they have avocados in Lewisport? Oh, yes, yeah. I'm like, okay.
We can go.
We're good.
We can go. We're good. Never mind. Don't cancel anything.
Oh, that's pretty funny. But anyway. Very important to you. So you got some stuff upcoming. Well, you were talking about your book.
Yeah, my book is coming out. The Forbidden Dreams of Betsy Elliott will be released on February 13th, so it's out, but it's online on the publisher's website, and it has started to be shipped to stores, and so it should be in anywhere Flanker Press sells books. So like Gander Airport has books in there. They'll have it. All the Irvings along the road. There's some craft shops that they have it in different communities around the province. I mean, they have a good distribution all over Atlantic Canada, really. And Chapters, Coles, like the big bookstores will have it.
Can I get it online, like
online,
e-reader?
Online, yep. It'll be in Kindle. It'll take a little bit longer to, I think, maybe 48 hours after the book is released.
Okay.
It goes on to the platform for ebook. So you can get it in ebook. You can get it trade. They're a trade publisher, so it's softcover. Yeah, so it's everywhere.
Sweet.
And it's a historical fiction. And it's not a romance. I have to tell everybody that because even though there's a female character and a male character, and there's some elements of, like you're reading it, you may think there's, and it's not that it's not, but romance is very specific, right? The genre romance. It's like you have to have the happy ever after, but this is not that. And
the
she's
Forbidden Dreams of Betsy Elliott. It doesn't exactly sound...
No.
Not exactly uplifting, if that's okay to say.
There's a lot of darkness in it.
Yeah.
There's some things. It was rural Newfoundland. It was the 1930s. It was the Depression. Lived in an isolated place with no houses around them. And there was a lot of stuff happened. And it was a hard winter. It all takes place in the winter. And that's how the times were. So the good old days, not so good. Not so good sometimes.
Yeah.
And so And it's set on Change Islands, but it's a fictional people. Although some real people make cameos. But, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Real names get dropped and stuff like that, but mostly it's fiction.
Will they be recognizable names?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it won't just be like
well, they'd
your
be recognizable
great-grandmother's
to
uncle.
locals, but like Art Scamo, of course, was from Change Islands, so he gets mentioned in there, because he would have, like, it was 1933, so I think he would have just left a couple of years before, but he spent years coming back. He went away to school to become a teacher, and then spent years. He'd come home every summer and fished with his father till his father gave up fishing because he needed him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
right? He needed hands in the boat.
Speaking of, like, recognizable characters, like, from real life, we were talking about Death on the Ice the other day in English class, and Miss Jeans, which is my English teacher, was saying something like, there's a bunch of my students have said that person, that character, is actually my, like, distant relative.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's so cool. And then one of my friends put up his hand, and he was like, yeah, I'm related to one of the characters in the book. So it's, like, crazy.
Oh, yes, it was because the sealers went out from every cove, right?
Yeah.
So they would join the sealing ships and go off to the ice. Not so many from this bay because the seals come here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
We
people
don't exactly
went
have
off,
to
like
leave.
Twillingate, Fogo Island, Change Islands, they went off and got seals. But if you could get a berth on a sealer, you'd make a lot of money because you would go to the seals, right? Fun fact, Cassie Brown wrote Death on the Ice. Mm-hmm. And Flanker Press is owned by Margot and Gary Cranford. Mm-hmm. Cassie Brown is Margot's aunt.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah, that was her aunt. And Margot is a wonderful singer. She has a beautiful, beautiful singing voice. I didn't know. I've known them for quite a while, and a number of years, because they had Bill Rowe came here and did a book signing for Flanker, and so I've known them at least that long, and I didn't know, and yeah, so and they posted a song one day when she was young singing, and I was like, "That's you." Why did you stop? So yeah. So, but everybody can. I'm the only one. Oh, me and who else? There's someone else. Don Baker. I think Don can't sing. Yeah, there's two of us in Newfoundland who can't sing. The rest, all of the province, everybody can sing.
I think everybody can sing.
Okay, I can sing poorly.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, here in Newfoundland, though, there is such an abundance of ridiculous talent. Everybody, I don't know, it's part of the culture.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just...
Yeah, everyone has some
too,
sort of musical thing in them.
Yeah.
So you have the genetics of it, because, if you have a bunch of people who can sing, and then they have a bunch of babies, they can sing. And so you have the genetics of it, but you also have the exposure, because there wasn't a lot to do. Even now, we have more to do now, but in some communities, like quiet nights, and you're making music. You make music, right? So then the kids are running around listening to making... I remember going to, we didn't do it, but my friend's family were musical, and going to their house and just... her dad's playing the guitar and people are singing, and that was what they did.
Yeah, that's
some of my earliest memories is like Dad playing like Pink Floyd songs around the fire. Like it's
and somebody's having a fire.
Everybody brings a guitar.
You'd show up to a fire, with your cooler, and you sit down, and the next thing you know, there's a couple of guitars out. And it's just like, get together on a Tuesday in August.
Yes, that's true,
planned.
Actually. That was like cabin last year.
Yeah.
So you don't need cabins on Change Islands if you live there, because it's cabin life out.
Yeah, everything is a cabin almost.
Yeah. So. And speaking of music... Ha!
Ta-da!
Miss Cat City.
Cat City Poor.
Cat City Poor.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've already been hearing from her, but our guest this evening is Miss Cassidy Rich.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Today has been a pretty good day. Yep. I'm sitting in a pretty comfy chair right now, so that's awesome. And I'm here to talk about my new album, which is even cooler. Yes.
Yes. Can you give us the name? Your version of the name is great.
Drum roll. It is over and out, but we have an inside joke as of today over ampersand out, because that ampersand is very important. I just think it's a very cool character.
You have to be clear on that, because panic! Exclamation point at the disco.
That's true.
Right?
It's not Panic at the Disco. It's Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
Something very different.
Yes, it is.
Hey! Exclamation point Rosetta.
True. Yeah.
And, like, pink has the
pink,
or upside down eye or the exclamation mark. It's a double meaning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does the ampersand have a double meaning in over and out?
No, I just think ampersand looks pretty cool.
And it's a great word, ampersand.
Ampersand. It's so much fun to say, and I sound like a scholar when I say it.
Over ampersand out.
Ampersand. Yes, I have a PhD.
And
Yeah. Did I hear you guys saying you're going to name your next album Ampersand?
Ampersand.
I thought it was a great name because it's a connecting word.
Yeah.
And
music
so
connects us
you don't
all.
know what came before and you don't know what comes after. Just ampersand.
Just ampersand.
Isn't that clever?
That's very clever.
Our
We got the writer in the room
ends.
here.
Yeah.
Double meanings on the words.
That's what happens when you get creatives in a room. They just take a word and haul it apart and switch
Yep.
it around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep. So you're doing an album.
I
It's
am.
called Over and Out.
Over and Out? Yes. Would you like me to tell you a little bit about
I
why
would-
it's named that?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so me being Cassidy have a very long and complicated thing for everything. So the name of the album comes from when me and some of my friends would grow up. We had walkie-talkies because we live very close to each other. So we would kind of like chat on our walkie-talkies and, you know, over and out. You say it and you get off walkie-talkie. And the whole album is kind of about the lessons you learn as you mature into a person, other than like a little human.
A little human evolving to a person?
Evolving
a
into
full
a person. It's kind of like Pokemon when you think about it. It's a new evolution into a person. I got enough experience points. Get it? Yeah, but it's kind of about, and like the kind of slogan for the album is lessons learned the hard way. So it's not completely all about me, all the songs. Some of them are about like my very close friends. And then some of them are about me as well. So I think there's a song or experience that every person can kind of resonate with and relate to, especially if you're like going through your, you know, evolution of becoming a person. So it's, I'm very proud of it, and I think that people will relate to it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And this is your second album?
This is my second, the first being Lucky Stars, which you can get on iTunes and Spotify and all the places you can get music.
Good
if you
plug.
want to take a listen. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had a producer on this album, did you not?
Yes, I did. Her name is Claire Font, and she is the most lovely human being of all time.
Love
And
Claire.
so very talented. I'm so glad I got to work with her on this this project. It just made it, like, you know, you can never know what's going to happen when you go into a project, but it was so pleasant and wonderful to have someone to work with and bounce ideas off of. It was just, she's lovely.
Yeah. That's great. I'm really glad that you guys gelled so well together.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a lovely gal.
Well, buds, and you're both in grade 11, or?
I think Claire's in grade 12, but I'm
Okay.
I'm in the 11th grade.
Nice. So this is a project coming from the next generation, the not quite fully evolved Pokemons of Newfoundland.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm so glad I came up with that analogy. That's perfect.
It's great. Yeah.
You're so young. You still have lots of Pokemon years left to evolve,
Yes,
you know.
very much.
We're all still evolving, I think.
Yeah.
Well, so we kind of know you a bit, but our listeners may not. So can you give us a little bit of backstory about like how long you've been performing and
Yeah.
some Cassidy musical history?
Ooh, okay. Well, if I'm going into my musical history, I kind of was always around music. Like I said, Dad played music around the fire. Mom played music around the fire as well. Always grew up in a musical family. I listened to rock when I was a kid because that's what my parents listened to, which I still listen to rock all the time now, but I really enjoy musical theater music and some pop and classical. I really like every genre except for country. Sorry to all the country fans.
Our deepest apologies. Don't write letters.
Yes.
Me.
But the Dixie Chicks are... I love the Dixie Chicks.
But they're bluegrass, see?
Yeah.
There's a
walk a line.
fine line there.
Yeah. I think it's impossible not to like the Dixie Chicks, though.
Yeah.
They're wonderful. Anyways, that was a tangent. I like a bunch of music, but I started personally playing music around the 8th or 9th grade, I started taking cello lessons, which I loved.